Hi everyone, my name is Varsha and welcome to Study with Varsha. So in this video, I am going to cover 50 interview question answer for AWS DevOps Engineer on the topic of AWS EC2 instance. So without further delay, let's get started. The first question is, what is Amazon EC2? So this question I have talked a multiple times, but even though I am covering this question so that you people can understand in a better way. So the answer will be EC2 provides a scalable virtual server in AWS where you control CPU, memory, OS and storage. Okay. So this is the most important question you have to, remember this, and if you want to take a screenshot you can take the screenshot, or if you want me to upload this video this file, I will upload in the YouTube itself. So okay, what is EC2? So EC2 provides a scalable virtual server in AWS where you can control CPU, memory, operating system and storage. So let's elaborate what it means. It means that AWS provides virtually, not in real. Like here, you no need to maintain the server infrastructure, nothing. AWS will take care about infrastructure and everything. You just have to pay and you have to use the server and you will get a virtual server. And in that virtual server, you can control like CPU as per your requirement. You can choose the CPU like one CPU, two CPU, 3 CPU as per your requirement. You can choose like memory, operating system and storage. So that's why it is scalable, means it can change, and it is virtual because infrastructure we are not going to manage. So that's why it's provide scalable virtual server in AWS where you can control CPU, memory, operating system and storage. Hope you understand. If you even though didn't understand, ping in the comment box, I will explain. Next question is difference between instance types and family. So this question, for this question only, I have covered like a long video of 15 to 16 minutes. In that, I have discussed in a very detailed way about instance type and all. If you didn't watch, go and watch that video. You will like your doubts will be clear. But here I'm just giving the answer. Instance family defines category, like category in T series, C series, R, while instance types define exact size like T3 medium, T2 micro, kind of that. So for if you want to understand this question, then go and watch the video. What are general purpose instance? Okay, so general purpose instance, that is a kind of a type of instance. So in general purpose you have a balanced CPU, memory used for web apps, API and small databases. I'll do one thing. I will paste the videos link in the same video so that you people can refer it. So in the comment box only I will ping the video link. Why should T series be used? Okay, so why should T series be used? Because it for stable workloads like dev and test or internal tools with variable CPU usage. Now, next is explain CPU credits in T series. Okay, so this all question, yeah, answer you will get if you watch my last video. I will, definitely I will ping the link in the chat box itself. So CPU credits allow burst performance for short duration when needed. What are compute optimized instance? Okay, so what are optimized instance? So that is designed for CPU intensive workloads, okay, like batch jobs and video processing. What are memory optimized instance? So again, it is used when application require large RAM, like databases and caching systems. So you all know if we are using, for example, Redis, cache, so at that time we should have to use RAM, like in-memory data types. So at that scenario, we have to choose memory optimized instances. What are storage optimized instance? So that will provide high disk IOPS for big data logs and data warehousing. What are GPU instance used for? So it is used for machine learning, AI training, graphics rendering and workloads. For video gaming also we use. What is on-demand pricing? On-demand means pay as you go pricing, suitable for testing and short-term workload. So in the last video also I explained, for example, if a developer or if a tester want to test the prod environment for 2-3 days, so in that scenario we have to use on-demand instance. Now, what are reserve instance? So reserve instance provides significant cost saving for long-term stable workloads. Like if we want our production servers to deploy, and because that will be deployed for 2 3 4 years, so in that scenario we have to choose reserve instance. Now, difference between standard and convertible RI. It means standard offer high discount, okay, and convertible offer flexibility. What is spot instance? So we can use unused AWS capacity at a very low cost but can be interrupted. So we avoid to use spot instance for production. Okay, if we want to store logs and some data, in that scenario you can use. Best use cases of spot instance. Yeah, bad job, CI/CD task and non-critical workload. So in that scenario you can use spot instances. What are saving plan? So saving plans that will come for commit to consistent compute uses for flexible cost saving. So like the with by the name itself you can understand saving plans means it is used for cost saving and for the logs, for long term storage or for dev environment we can use this plan. How do you choose EC2 instance types? So how do you choose? So we can't go by like if this instance type have low price, so we can choose no. If this is high performance, then we can choose no. It is the best on the requirement, like how much CPU, memory, disk, and network we need to utilize. So on the basis of that only we can choose EC2 instance type. Next, how do you optimize EC2 cost? So how can we optimize? Optimize means how can we save, like and so that we can take care only whatever we are required we can do. So sorry. For that we have to use right size of EC2. For example, if we need 2 GB of CPU, two CPU only, then we can choose 2 CPU. If we want 4 GB of RAM, then we can choose that only as per our requirement. And there we can enable auto scaling. So if the traffic will go to high, it automatically scale up, like increase the CPU or memory. So it will not waste the CPU and memory. And spot and monitoring, and we can set up monitoring so that it will be it will give you a notification, okay, our CPU is more than 90%, and then it will automatically auto scale. So in this way we can optimize EC2 cost. Next, what happened when EC2 is stopped? Okay, this is a very good question and many people can ask. See, if we have choose everything very good and auto scaling also we have enabled in that, even though if our EC2 instance is going to stop, so what will happen? So that instance is going to stop and EBS will remain, and billing is and whatever the billing will be there, that will going to stop for compute. Difference between stop and terminate. Okay, so stop means for temporarily you have preserve instance, and terminate means permanently you have deleted that instance. Okay, how do you monitor EC2 performance? So how can we monitor? So as previously also I explained, by using CloudWatch metrics like CPU, memory, disk, and IOPS. Next is, how do you handle high CPU usage? Okay, so we can use scale up instance or use auto scaling. Scale up and scale down in the last video I have explained. I will force you, if you will say that, go and watch the last video. That is very important. If you watch that video, like you are 100% ready for the interview. So we can scale up the instance and you can use auto scaling. Okay. Now, high memory but low CPU indicates memory is high in usage but CPU is even low. So means memory bound workloads. Move to memory optimized instance. Next, how do you reduce AWS bill? So we can reduce bill by analyze cost explorer, and we can choose right size of instance, and we can use saving plans like reserve instances per production, spot instances, kind of as per our requirement. What is auto scaling? I explained auto scaling, but anyone can ask what is actually auto scaling. So in that scenario, we can say automatically adjust EC2 capacity based on the demand. That is only auto scaling. Now, what does ELB help EC2? ELB means elastic load balancer. So how does it helps to EC2? So elastic load balancer, by the name itself, elastic means that we can change, and load balance means it will distribute the traffic evenly across EC2 instance. So that is in that way only ELB can help EC2. Real time EC2 architecture. You can take this screenshot. What are common EC2 mistake? So EC2 mistakes generally we do over provisioning, wrong instance type, using on demand always. So I told you we should not have to, choose the instance based on the cost and capacity. We have to choose according to our requirement. How do you resize EC2? Hmm, Resize means we can stop the instance and change the instance type, and then we can restart. So for example, if our EC2, we have created our EC2 and in the spot, but we want it for the long type, like we want to deploy our production server there, so we can stop it and we can go and we can change the instance from spot to reserve instance, and then again we can restart. So in this way we can resize EC2. How do you ensure high availability? Okay, so for example, uh, first thing we have to use multi-AZ. Multi-AZ means if one region is going to be down, another region will be up. We can use auto scaling and we can use load balancer. So in this way we can ensure high availability of our EC2. What is an AMI? Amazon Machine Image. So that is also come in the EC2, and I have created a separate video on AMI. So if you didn't watch that video, go and watch it. So for as of now, we have to answer like template containing OS and software to launch EC2. How do you secure EC2? So using security groups, IAM roles, and patching. So in this way, we can secure our EC2 instance. Security groups we can create. IAM rules you know how to create. I have already covered, and patching. What is instance store? Instance store means temporarily store is lost on the spot or terminate. Sorry. Difference between EBS and instance store. EBS and instance store, like EBS is persistent, okay, and instance store is temporary. That is the only difference. You have to you have to remember only one line. EBS is persistent and instance store is temporary. How do you handle spot interruption? So spot interruption we can use handle by using checking point and stop interruptions notices. Now, when not to use spot instance. So in production database and critical workloads, we should not have to use because it can be interrupted in any time. Basically, for production work, we should never have to use spot instance. What causes EC2 billing spike? Like over provisioning, already told, using on demand for long term workloads. What metrics are important for EC2? CPU utilization, memory, disk IO, network IO. What is the right sizing? Right sizing is nothing but matching instance size with actual workload uses. Again, how do your saving plans help DevOps? Reduce long term compute cost with flexibility. How do you explain EC2 beginners? So if you are a beginner, so EC2 is a virtual server in the cloud. You can scale anytime. That is only EC2. So this is the question which I have discussed. Now Just 1 second. Yeah, so I have some more questions. So if you want, I'll explain this also, and I will upload this file along with the video. So this we have discussed before considering institute. Uh, okay, how do we, like this question? I think we have discussed. Now instance type, that also explained. Some more. Hmm, okay. I have prepared some real time. Yeah, real time scenario based. This I will explain. Okay, and above, if you guys have any doubt, you can comment in the comment box. I will explain. So, the scenario based question, for example, suppose your web app is running 24 into 7. So, which pricing option you will use? So, I explain reserve instance or saving plan for the cost efficiency we can use. Nightly batch jobs for 3 hours. So, which is the best option? So, that will be compute optimized instance with spot pricing. Next is database performance is slow. What change you will do so that the performance will increase? So you can move to a memory optimized instance to increase RAM. Next is CPU always above 90%. Are you able to see? Yeah. CPU is above 90%. What will you do? So we can scale vertically or enable auto scale with compute optimized instance. Next, high memory but low CPU indicates means memory bound workloads requiring memory optimized instance. AWS bill suddenly increased. So how can you will do? So use cost explorer, analyze EC2 uses and identify idle resource. How do you auto scale group help optimization? That automatically adjust capacity. I think rest of the things I have discussed. So this also file I'm going to share with you. If you guys have any doubt, just comment in the comment box. Thank you for watching Study with Varsha. Have a great day.